That's right, you read the title correctly. I'm going to be competing the Canon R5 Mark II against the iPhone 16 Pro. Yes, they are at a 24 millimeter equivalent. Right here is the 24-70 2.8 L series lens, which is a $2,200 lens on a $4,300 body. And here is a $1,100 camera because it is the 256 gigabit one. And so you've got this 24 millimeter equivalent. We're going to be putting those two next to each other just to see why the majority of people in the world choose this over this. And can you tell a difference? And will you change your mind about which one you take out on a date? Welcome back to the channel, and yes, we're still going to do this. It's going to be real. We're going to be going into my driveway today. We're going to be competing this camera, the Canon R5 II, a $4,300 body with a $2,200 lens. Again, it is the 24-70 2.8 L series lens. Excellent, beautiful lens. We're going to be putting that at 24 millimeters. And then the iPhone 16 Pro is a 24 millimeter equivalent, and we're going to be using that middle lens. There is a wide lens, there is a narrow lens, but we're going to fit into that middle one, which is the 24 millimeter equivalent. Now, I did get the aspect ratio wrong because they are in 4K, but this is the ultra wide 4K aspect ratio that I have, and this is just that 3840 by 2160, if I got that dimensions correctly. So it's not going to look perfectly, but you're going to get an idea. Both of them are shot in log. This is C-Log 2, this is Apple log, and I did use the Blackmagic app on here to shoot it, and I graded it all in DaVinci Resolve. So I'm going to show you what it looks like graded and ungraded and how that tethers, and you might be a little surprised. And then we're going to come back here after I show you the comparison next to each other. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts, because what is the purpose of this test? The purpose is, first of all, I've been holding this for the last couple of minutes. This thing is heavy. This thing is light. This thing you have to make a conscious decision to bring with you at a shoot, at a family event, at a get-together, where this is with you all the time. You never think about it. And the camera quality is pretty good, especially the video in Apple log. So let's get out there. We'll do the test. We'll come back in and I'll give you my final thoughts. Oh, and before we do go out there, I had an ND filter on here. There was a fingerprint smudge. You may see that in the video. It is a little reflective, but just know that's my bad. It's not this. All right, here is the test. The iPhone 16 Pro in the Blackmagic app. So I've got everything manually set. And then we have the Canon R5 Mark II. It's not even a contest with the 24-70 2.8 at 24 millimeters. And this is equivalent to 24 millimeters focal length on the main lens of the 16 Pro. We've got Apple log on, obviously, the Apple, and then we have C-Log 2 on the Canon. Now, obviously, when it comes to photography and video, the camera that is used the most nationally, here, I'll look right here, internationally, worldwide, is going to be the iPhone is going to be used, or it could be an Android as well, but it is the phone on you that shoots the photos and the video. It's hard to bring a DSLR or an SLR or a mirrorless camera on you all the time. And then do you really want to take a $4,300 body along with a $2,200 lens on that to get those shots, when you could get a 24 millimeter equivalent, and then I believe it's a 50 and then an 85-ish on that? The image quality is pretty good. So this is just a quick little test. This is nothing fancy. So obviously 24 millimeter 2.8 at on the R5 II, and the 24-70 at 24 2.8 here. So that is that. And after grading, this is what you can do. I have not graded the iPhone. So here is the iPhone. Both of these have ND filters, Canon of concept and newer on the Apple. It was the quickest thing I could get for an ND filter because I don't normally shoot on this. And as I'm looking, I do see a little fingerprint smudge. Hopefully it doesn't make a big difference on that ND filter, but here is the Apple, and this is the look. This is how you would grade it to in post. So using DaVinci Resolve, this is what it looks like. We're also gonna do a quick test in walking around. I'm gonna walk around at 24 millimeters, vlogging myself on the Canon R5 II, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the Apple iPhone, the 16 Pro. I do want to check, what is the tracking like on the iPhone? Is it pretty good? I don't normally shoot in Apple. Well, this is not ProRes either, by the way. I wanted to let you know I took that off. This is the H.265 codec. So it is still Apple log, but H.265 because you can do a lot more storage. You can do ProRes and you can record externally or internally using the USB-C of your iPhone. And then obviously you have CFast Express Type B for the Canon, and you also have an SD card there. But again, having your phone on you is almost a given at all times, so doing video and photo just makes a lot more sense. So how is that tracking? Let's get out of the shot. We'll get back in. How is this? Now, obviously, Canon is going to have magnificent, awesome tracking. So IBIS is on with the Canon 24 to 70 2.8 at 2.8. Good blurred out background. By the way, when you are shooting with the Apple iPhone or any of those iPhones, you do have really good image stabilization, but the latest ones, including the 15 Pro and the 16 Pro, offer that more cinematic background. It can blur it out. It is faking it, but it is pretty good nowadays that it's hard to tell that it's not a natural bokeh in the background. But this is what vlogging on this feels like. We will switch to the iPhone and it'll become more natural, but you have to consider what you have at all times, and that is gonna be a phone. In my case, it's the iPhone 16 Pro, and that's like having a mini tablet and a camera all in one. It does everything. It is actually more useful than this one-trick pony. I don't like to say one-trick pony on this one exactly because it does do video really well and photography, but I can't answer a phone call on here. I can't surf the internet on my camera, but you can with a phone. So the iPhone 16 Pro, you've got those benefits, and it is a lot less money, and it's always on you, and it's easy to save and update and back up those files and those photos for the future. Hopefully this works out okay. I do see a little smudge on my ND filter, so hopefully that's not making a big difference. But right off the bat, holding the iPhone in my hand, it's just so much easier to talk to you. Feels a little bit more personal, not awkward. I could do this in public. I could do a quick little vlog. I could do a quick little tutorial on set, on location, and it's just always there. And you can upload right away from your phone to social media, to anything. And that's why the best camera is the one that's on you. And 100% of the time, it's always gonna be a phone nowadays. You're gonna have a phone on you, you're gonna have those photos. And so that is gonna be probably the #1 shooter. Now, if you are a full-time professional or a hobbyist photographer, obviously the Canon R5 II, Nikon, Sony, all of their cameras are awesome. But as somebody that photographs over 1,000 homes a year, 5 houses on average a day, this is what I use to photograph with my kids, video for my kids and their events, and it automatically uploads to my network attached storage, and so it's always backed up where I don't have to convert it to a DNG and then edit, or keep it in its large raw format and edit it, and categorize in post, where I have to do that with the R5 II. So this makes a lot more sense in that aspect. Now, I have never graded Apple log, so this will be interesting grading that. C-Log 2, very easy to grade. Your dynamic range in C-Log 2 is phenomenal. I'm not sure about Apple log, so I will give you my final thoughts on that after I edit that footage. Now, if you're no stranger to this channel, you've seen how many videos I've done over the last 3 months with the Canon R5 II with multiple different lenses, doing it in RAW, S-RAW, C-Log 2, and this thing is beautiful. I love it. I'm going to be keeping this a very long time. The 45 megapixels is great. The video quality is awesome. But there is a reason why I use this full-time professionally, 5 days a week, about 5 houses a day. But this thing, the iPhone 16, and before this, it was the 15 Pro, and this is the 16 Pro. I shoot more family photos and video with this and events with this because it's just convenient. It's on me all the time. The picture quality is great. I love Apple Log. I love grading it. I think it looks really good and professional. And for the most part, people aren't going to notice any difference between this and that. And even on a professional set, you could do a C camera with this or even a B camera. Also, who out there has a Synology NAS? I have a Synology NAS. It is a network attached storage. I have about 36 terabytes and I have an app in there, a photo app. And if you're familiar with it, you put it on this, you sync it up. All your photos that you take on here, instead of going to the iCloud, it actually goes right to your NAS. And then you can just hit a button and delete everything on here. So it clears it up, goes into your network storage. And then in your network storage, you can also have an app that does a backup to a different cloud system, like OneDrive if you wanted to. So the fact that I can take photos, I can take video, and instantaneously it is then uploading into my network attached storage, that is great alone, especially since it is in a format that works well. Now, if I'm shooting RAW, it's going to be DNG. If you are shooting RAW on this, it's hard to read right off the bat unless you convert it to a DNG or to a JPEG. And you're not going to be able to upload this directly onto your computer immediately Wi-Fi as easy as you are with a cell phone. The quality of these are so great. And I am going to be making another video on why I switched from Android, why I switched from Windows, all to Apple about 2 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. But what about you? Are you an Apple person? Are you carrying your big ginormous camera around at all those events? I'll tell you this, I am carrying it at a few events in soccer events. But even at soccer events for my boy, I'm taking this. For me, when I'm looking at all my photos over the last 13 years of my children, 99.9% of them are from a phone. Those are the memories that I'm going to remember, and I'm not pixel peeping. I'm not looking at every single thing. I want to enjoy and remember those moments that I captured, and I'm not able to capture them with a big, ginormous camera if I don't have it with me. And it's hard to keep this with me all the time. This is with me all the time. This will get those moments. And now with today's technology and the iPhone 16 Pro camera qualities, the images are good. But what about you? Is your main camera your phone, or is it your ginormous, expensive clunker like this? Let me know in the comments below. But if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and of course, you're probably new here, so you may want to check out these videos. And you probably missed this one from last time, so you probably want to check that out too.